Liverpool are out of the UEFA Champions League at the hands of PSG, getting a big result at Anfield, a result that they needed. We got so much to talk about, so be sure to hit the like button, guys, and be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. You guys already know what it is. Let's start with, for me, I think the player across both legs, Nuno Mendes. Now, I'm sad that Man United didn't sign him. I know they were linked to him, but across the two legs, he showed why he is probably arguably top 5 left backs in Europe right now. Coming up against Mohamed Salah is no easy situation, and he managed to keep him quiet across two legs. I do think today's game, Salah was a lot more involved in comparison to that fixture in Paris last week. But I do also think that Nuno Mendes, aerial duels, ground battles, getting forward, he actually created or started the creation of the goal that Ousmane Dembele gets. He gets the ball in a deep position and he one pass through the middle, taking out about 4 or 5 Liverpool players. I'm talking about the defensive actions that he did in the game, but equally going forward, his ability to drive the ball forward is a big thing for PSG, especially when they got, the ever so changing kind of wide players. He's able to come into those little half spaces in the middle, and a midfield that I think Liverpool's midfield today, I don't think they were at their best. He was able to capitalise. Gravenberch looked tired. He looked like he ran out of gas towards the latter stages of the second half. And Nuno Mendes just looked like he had so much left in him in the tank. An absolute monster. What a performance across two legs. He's easily, for me, of course, people are going to talk about Dembele because, Dembele, when he's balling out, and we're going to talk about him, he's a very exciting player to watch. But for me, the best player across both legs in the entire two teams, it has to be Nuno Mendes for the job that he did on Salah. And it's no easy job, guys, especially in the UEFA Champions League, especially for me. Come a game at Anfield in the second leg where you need to get a goal, it's no easy situation to be in. But defensively, he held his own. Him and Pacho on that left hand side for PSG, putting in huge number of blocks, making sure that if Liverpool do get a chance or Mohamed Salah gets that little opening, making sure that he does not get nothing from it. And their job, they absolutely completed it. Now, just quickly on the flip side, I do think the trajectory of the game changed for Liverpool once Trent came off. Once Trent came off with that injury, I definitely feel like that injury changed the style that Liverpool was playing. Because in the midfield, I'm speaking about PSG's midfield, but it's particularly Vitinha and João Neves, for me, two phenomenal players. Vitinha, his ability to scan. The guy's got eyes at the back of his head. He's always scanning, always looking around. He's already found the pass before he's actually got the ball at his feet, which for me is a trait. It's an unappreciated trait, and not many midfielders have that trait. Then you have João Neves, who today, I think on the defensive action, and in terms of ground duels that he was able to win, he was putting in immense work. But because of that, Liverpool's midfield was, I think, run ragged a little bit. I think McAllister looked like he was running out of gas. Gravenberch, McAllister had to come off because of, that yellow card as well. But Gravenberch looked like he was running out of gas. And Szoboszlai looked like he was trying to force a lot of stuff through the middle of the pitch at best, and it wasn't working. So Trent was inverting a lot. You see Trent pick up those positions quite naturally in the middle of the pitch and drive through the middle with the ball, find Salah on the right, try to ping a ball out to Luis Diaz. And when he went off, I just feel like that element of the game disappeared for Liverpool. That's it. I feel like Kwanzaa came on, and it's no like for like swap. You are not getting what you get in Trent in Kwanzaa, unfortunately. And I thought maybe, Slot might tweak the midfield a little bit. He did, obviously, in extra time. But I thought maybe with that Trent substitution, he might have tweaked it a little bit. Would you guys have liked to see, Liverpool fans, would you lot have liked to see maybe, Gravenberch shift to that right back position? Because he has played that when Trent picks up the ball in the middle of the pitch or inverts, he kind of goes out wide. We've seen it quite a bit in Premier League games. So would you have liked to seen that and maybe see a shift in the midfield? I just feel like, the game kind of turned on its head for Liverpool when Trent went off. Now, a huge mention to Donnarumma, because I sat here last week criticising him and saying, I didn't say he was the reason they lost last week, but I said, the one time that you get called upon in a game and you can't even make a save. And today he shut everybody up. He probably watched Alisson last week and said, you know what, Alisson, whatever you can do, I'm going to try to do it even better. And not just that, to save 2 penalties in the penalty shootout. I know, guys, if you're an England fan, you're haunted by Italy and England's Euro final. You know about Donnarumma. You know about Donnarumma. He's probably one of the best goalkeepers in Europe right now when it comes to penalty shootouts, and he showed it today. You know, I feel like when Darwin Núñez stepped up for the penalty, I can't lie, he had miswritten all over him. No confidence. No confidence. I'm shocked with Curtis Jones. I'm not going to lie. It was a very unimpressive penalty, if you want to say that. But with Darwin Núñez, I'm not that shocked. Now, one player for me that I just felt like throughout the game was just a passenger for Liverpool. And I don't know where Liverpool fans stand with him, is Luis Diaz. I feel like Luis Diaz was just a passenger throughout the game, making bad decisions on the ball, getting in the right places, but the wrong decisions. And that is, I think, the difference maker between a decent winger and a winger that you can probably count on in situations like this. Now, just quickly on Luis Enrique, because the team he's put together here is a team of balance. It's such a well-balanced team. From the back line, the midfield, the front line, the bench, the substitutions, the in-game changes today. He handled it amazing. He handled it very, very well. And the balance that this team has, you know, they've got players that are strong and physical and powerful and have pace that can drive at you with the ball. They got the technical players. They got the players that can eat up every blade of grass in the midfield. They got the physical defenders. They got the fullbacks that are good on the ball, the ones that can recover pace, the ones that can get back, 1v1 duels. They got players that can do pretty much everything that you need in a system or in a style of play. And that's why I think this PSG team could actually go all the way. They could actually go all the way. They'll probably come up against, I think it'll be between Club Brugge and Villa. They could go all the way because they are such a well-balanced team. If you look at that front line, Barcola, Desire Doué, Ousmane Dembele. Ousmane Dembele has scored 20-something goals. 21, I think, or 25 goals in the calendar year, the most out of anybody else. He's in flying form. He's a confident player. And one thing I like about Dembele is he gets the ball on his left foot, but he can take it on his right foot. He gets the ball on his right foot, but he can take it on his left foot. He's so two-footed that I don't think I've seen a player like him right now that plays in the way that he does. Desire Doué as well, I think he's got a great high ceiling. You know, the fact that it was just between PSG and Bayern Munich to sign him in the summer blows my mind, because I think a lot of other teams, especially in the Prem, could have done with a player like Desire Doué. Maybe the price tag kind of steered them. But even so, the same with Kvaratskhelia, the same with João Neves. All these players that they have signed, that a lot of teams in the Premier League could have signed. They could have done with these players. I'm talking about Manchester United as well with João Neves, because a lot of people turn their nose up at a petite player, you know, that you'd expect to play in the midfield. But the technical ability speaks for itself. That's all I have to say. And Luis Enrique has done a phenomenal job with getting these young players, assembling a core of young players. I didn't even speak about Pacho. You know what? If I didn't give man of the match to Donnarumma for the penalty saves, I would have probably given it to Pacho, because Marquinhos for me is not the most phenomenal centre-back. You know, he's an aging centre-back that is probably the most experienced player, and you need that one person that's got experience under their belt in PSG when you have a very young core of players. But he's got a partner now in Pacho that I think he can rely on. You know, Pacho is good in the air, good at, you know, duels, good at reading when to step up, when to drop off a player, when to let a player run at you, when to how to put your body in the way of shots that sometimes looks like you don't have a chance to reach. Like today, he was throwing himself in front of every single ball that he could, and that was the difference maker. I think PSG's, you know, they edged it past. I think especially in the second half they took their gas off, and I think Liverpool were there, but Mohamed Salah just could not influence the game probably the way that most Liverpool fans would have wanted him to influence the game, and probably not the way that maybe he wanted to influence the game. I think he I don't want to say he struggled against Nuno Mendes, because I don't think he struggled today per se in comparison to last week, but I also think Jota was just not that great. And in that front line, that Liverpool front line with Luis Diaz, with Jota, with Salah, I think they're so heavily reliant right now. In this particular game, they were so heavily reliant on something coming from Salah or something coming from Trent, that, you know, the Nuno Mendes' ability to shut Salah out of the game and Trent going off injured kind of changed the trajectory for them, unfortunately. But PSG go through. Liverpool fans, let me know how you're feeling after that. Are you disappointed? I mean, Liverpool is still going to win the Premier League, but The Champions League is going to start to heat up because, you know, we saw Barcelona cruise past Benfica today. So that side of the bracket is looking interesting. You got, I think it's Bayern versus, it's going to be Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan, Barca probably versus Dortmund. This side of the bracket's heating up. You got Arsenal, you know, probably going to beat PSV, and then you got, you know, Atletico and Real Madrid tomorrow, which is going to be exciting. The Champions League's heating up. And the team that finished top of the league rankings in the Champions League format this season is out. They are out. Let me know your thoughts down below. Be sure to hit the like button and please do subscribe if you are new here.